Getting started real soon. I am beyond thrilled that you guys actually crowdfunded a contemporary classical show. I'm not sure what I'm going to play myself. A lot of what I'm looking at playing is music that I haven't heard myself yet. Okay, so expect some, I don't know, crossovers between genres. So we'll get into some minimalism. We'll get into some crazier stuff. We'll get into a crossover between jazz. Likely, it'll be fun for me to do maybe some art ensemble of Chicago, which I always kind of considered, classical jazz in a way, kind of thing. In any case, it can go in a bunch of directions, and I am well open to playing stuff that you might like. So, why don't we get this started? I thought one good place to start is right back where we did last time when I was playing you some ambient stuff. We're going to go back to Arvo Part because I think that this is a record all of you should have, or at least the piece Tabula Rasa is a piece that all of you should have. So I'm going to play you side B now, which is some of the stuff that you didn't hear the first time around. I hope you like it. Arvo Part. Thanks for tuning in. ECM, eh, dude? I wish I had more ECM. ECM is also a real pain in the ass to broadcast because their copyright, like everything gets shut down. I've done it on a few occasions with Keith Jarrett. It's a complete mess. So believe me, I would absolutely be going into the ECM. I don't have a ton of it anymore. I used to have it on CD, but yeah, I'll do my best. All right. I promise I'll do my best and keep sending as many requests as you want, especially when it comes to this genre. Your requests might be something I haven't even paid attention to before, so it is most welcome. Arvo Part is what begins this. Very happy to have you all. Let me go get my ice and my jam jar. Time to have a drink with you all. What are we drinking tonight? Let's do it. shit. Lovely, isn't it? you see, like those goosebumps you just got as that ended. Imagine listening to that live now in a concert hall. Uh, Fucking Arvo part is touched by God. It's almost not even fair to start a show with Tabula Rasa or any Arvo part because it spoils everything else. It is so incredibly beautiful that yeah. Here we are. I'm happy to be able to play stuff like this for you. We're gonna get weird, man. I'm gonna play some stuff that I haven't heard myself in a whole lot of time. So I hope you guys are cool with going in a few different directions. What I'm gonna do is focus on a lot of more modern stuff. So let's see where the next 3 hours take us. Thanks so much for renewing my faith in humanity and actually crowdfunding a show like this. Honestly, I'm not like anybody that knows me knows. Crowdfunding a weird classical show and having it happen in 5 minutes is my fucking dream come true. You don't understand. I can't play these records for anybody. I can't play this stuff for other people. It's like, it's weird. So it's like I'm always trying to play stuff that, the funk gets played. And I mean, I love the funk. I do. You know that. But this is stuff you got to sit with. This is stuff you got to listen. It's just classical music is a completely different experience. So it truly does mean a whole lot to me to be able to play my classical records for you. So thanks for that. Really, it's crazy. You guys have fucking crowdfunded some pretty crazy shows, like ambient music, some of that weirdo noise stuff. It's cool, man. I'm gonna play you an artist off Nonsuch. Expect me to play a bunch of stuff off Nonsuch if we ever do these types of shows again, because Nonsuch is very much the label, especially the early stuff, is very much the label that you want to look for when it comes to classical music. So whenever you see the white ones and you see that N, just know that stuff's interesting, because this entire label, this is the same label that not crowdfunded, but this is the same label that what's it called? Silver Apples of the Moon was recorded on. And all of a sudden his name is not coming to mind. Silver Apples of the Moon. Who does Silver Apples of the Moon? Youngblood. The name's not coming to me. Okay, Subotnick. Yeah, Morton Subotnick. So expect some weird stuff. Yeah, man, I love Arthur Rubinstein, but Rubinstein's kind of like the normal stuff. I'm going to try to play you some weirder shit, okay? This is a dude called, what is it, Neely Bruce? No, Ben Johnston. Ben Johnston. It's a composition for a string quartet. So I hope you dig it. It's something that was recorded in 1964. And it's a whole lot of musicians that I don't know. I don't know the composer either. And I think that's the entire point. So do me a favor and just kind of sit back and listen to some contemporary classical music with me from the 60s. One thing you should know immediately is, for those of you who know any of this stuff at all, side one of this record is John Cage. I should probably go with John Cage also, but it's a 21-minute song on side one. If it's paired with John Cage, generally speaking, it's the weird shit. So see what you think. What is this guy? Ben Johnston. Okay, we're going to listen to some contemporary string quartet stuff. Hope you enjoy it. This isn't gonna be hard, man. It's done? I guess it's done. Look at that. Shannon says she likes the dissonance. Yeah, man. That's absolutely what I'm talking about. There's lots of dissonance to the type of classical music that I like. So when I'm talking about weirdo classical, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Dissonant elements. Luca? I can play some Johnny Greenwood. I do have some. I'm going through my collection there. This is going to be ridiculously easy for me to do, man. It's just I'm pulling records out and it's like, wait a second. This fits? I don't know it. It's going to be interesting. This fits. I don't know it. It's going to be interesting. So expect this to be good. This is something that I just pulled out of my collection right now. Don't know the record. I bet you anything it'll be good. It was released in 1973 on a label called Crystal Records. And who we're going to be listening to is Ernest Gold, born on July 13th, 1921 in Vienna, Australia. I believe this is music that he's doing for, it's a symphony for 5 instruments. Okay, so we're going to listen to the first act. Tell me what it is that you think. I really enjoyed. Side 1 is Ernest Gold, and the second side is another artist called Alexander Borisov, and his piece is called Variations on a Theme of Paganini. But it's a 21-minute song, so I'm not going to do that. 9 minutes, on the other hand, I just took a real quick listen. This should be a fun listen, at least for me. I mean, if you liked what we just listened to right now, Ben Johnston, and you like that whole dissonance thing, I got some in spades here. Like, we're going to have a fun time, man. Lots of records. Okay, this is fun, isn't it? Wow. This might be the first time it is that I'm having a fun classical music party. Does that even exist? Should we be wearing tuxedos for this? I should have worn my residence shirt. Great stuff, right? It's, I told you, man. I just started looking through the collection, and I'm trying to keep away from the stuff. Like I'm trying to keep away from the Beethoven and the Mozart and the Schubert and all that stuff, which I love, but trying to focus on the weirder shit. And I realized, Jesus, man, I got a whole buttload of this stuff. Awesome, fucking awesome! I can't believe I'm playing it for you guys. This is my dream come true. So yeah, Andrew tried to trick me into telling him, what's this again? Because Andrew knows that you start describing these records, classical records are the worst fucking thing to describe. Because you got to describe the composer, then you got to describe the piece, then it's what's it called, the conductor, then the orchestra. If there's any soloist, there's that too. It's just there's a million different factors that come into the picture that just make it a real pain in the ass to talk about. So I'll tell you that this guy's name is Ernest Gold, and we listened to something off a record that's on Crystal Records. So if you really want to get specific, this came out in 1973. I can give you the catalog number, Crystal Records S862. And that's the thing. With some of these records, you literally need catalog numbers, because it's like, unless you really know what you're looking for, and I'm sure that those that like collect this stuff and listen to it like voraciously are going to know it a lot more than me. I know that my plan when it comes to buying classical music is it's pretty simple. If it's strange, depending on certain labels, I go for, certain composers. Like I've mentioned more than once, and I think that's probably going to be one of the big takeaways, is if you see non-such records in your stacks when you go to the next record store, buy it. The records are great. They are. Now, it depends on what kind of classical. Okay, they have these, for example. I'm showing you this one as an example because you're going to see a ton of these, okay? They're colored. You see purple and everything. Some of them are green. They're mostly color-coded and very kind of like in your face. And in a lot of cases, I mean, they got really cool art. But there's another thing that you'll probably love about these records is that, for the most part, they're cheap as chips. Nobody wants this stuff. Nobody. Look for it and you'd be surprised. You stock up on it, man. And you can still get it now because classical music is still not picked up. Like I told you before, I came across my big collection that was that I inherited. I was picking up classical stuff at $1 and $2 a piece. I'd go to charity shops and fucking find tons of it. Tons of it. Before I got my collection, I was already maybe 250 or 300 classical records deep. And when I got into it, I already knew that I was buying so that I can go into it early. What it is that I was doing is I went in with the idea of, I know how this record collection game goes. It happened with CTI. It happens with all records. People eventually get hip to something and they go out and pick it up. Okay? And I know that classical music is still not hip. So there's a ton of it. There's a ton of it. You just got to know how to pick it up. That's it, man. That Deutsche Grammophon stuff, I got like 300 Deutsche Grammophon records. So if you see non-such, yeah. You should know that in terms of the more regular classical, so pieces like Handel's Messiah or, Beethoven or that kind of thing, these are not considered quote-unquote the big players, okay? So you want to look at other labels like London and Deutsche Grammophon. Those are the bigger labels for that kind of thing. Columbia, right? But just know that doesn't mean, just because it's not like the big world-renowned orchestra, it doesn't mean it's not any good. The standards of non-such and the recording standards of non-such are right up there. So you are getting quality. You're not wasting your time. If it seems interesting, pick it up. Simple as that. What it is that I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to the beginning, I guess, and to maybe the record that started the whole contemporary classical, at least in my own consciousness, kind of realizing Igor Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring. When it was premiered for the first time, caused a riot. People were absolutely not accepting this music. They didn't want to hear it, and since then, of course, it's become one of the most revered pieces of contemporary classical art and been played and performed by a bunch of people. So I was looking through my non-such. I found Igor Stravinsky, The Rite of Spring, which I think is a piece that it's a cornerstone of any contemporary classical collection. That I can say without any doubt. Doesn't matter who it does. Just the Rite of Spring, you want it. Once you go there, start going deeper into Stravinsky. You're not going to go wrong. Okay, so what I'm playing you here is l'Orchestre National de la RTF. I do not know what the RTF stands for. I'm looking for it, but it's not there. And I'm assuming that it's probably some kind of Swiss orchestra because maybe it's a bad assumption, but the conductor is Pierre Boulez. So Pierre Boulez, who was known as a tyrant, actually quite a prick, and worked a lot at the beginning of the first couple of years of the Montreal Symphony Orchestra. Pierre Boulez was a conductor there as well. So we're going to listen to The Rite of Spring, conducted by Pierre Boulez on Nonsuch. Hope you enjoy it. So you see what I'm telling you when I say that the music's very powerful? Music like this hadn't been heard before when this premiered. People weren't ready for it. It caused a riot. And now it's celebrated, you know? And certainly by me. I have many versions by many artists. I absolutely love that. Jeff Duval, Chivas Fund. Cheers, brother. I guess you noticed, eh? There's another drop. Let's get that last drop in. Those of you that are name dropping Kronos Quartet, yeah, Kronos Quartet is definitely something you should be familiar with, and I will be playing. Look, I'm having no trouble pulling stuff, so believe me, we're going to fill these next 2 hours real easy. Okay, and there's plenty to go for a bunch of other shows, so don't worry about it if we don't catch it today. All right. What we're going to do now is listen to another kind of, lesser known artist. This is on the Philips label. This is the stuff that I love for French. Like when you get the French label stuff, the Philips stuff. There's an artist named Henrik Mikolaj Gorecki. So basically Henrik Gorecki, who's played some pretty crazy stuff. And he was born in 1933. I don't know when he passed away, but he's absolutely one of the most original composers of his time. So I thought I'd play some for you. Those who might know Gorecki will very much like it if you like what I've played up to now. And I would tell you to look for his stuff. It's out there. It's a little bit more out there. I mean, it's not as it's not as available as Beethoven or anything like that. And these tend to be sometimes the records that you got to pay more for because you don't see too much of them. But these are the kind of records that I latch on to. So I got a bunch. I'm gonna play you some Henrik Gorecki. Give you a chance to listen for yourself and see what you think. We're going to listen to Chants Instrumentaux pour 15 exécutants. Instrumentaux pour 15 exécutants. So this is basically, the track is called Genesis 2. And it's for 15. It's for an orchestra of 15. So tell me what you think, okay? Hope you're enjoying the show as much as I'm doing, as much as I'm enjoying playing it for you. Duval, $10 for the Chivas Fund. Cheers, bro. I guess I got to get another bottle. Very nice of you to notice. Thank you all for being here. And take advantage for the rest of the weekend on your code up there, VJ Sunday. You get 10% off the entire store. Okay, whatever your order is, we'll give you 10% off. So those of you that are looking to buy some of the more expensive classical music, because classical music can be expensive. See this here? I saw one of you, I forgot who it was, but one of you bought this Arvo Part record. I was actually surprised that this was in the store because I've looked for Arvo Part. Arvo Part is one of the first artists I looked for in the shop, vinyljunkies.store, because I want some for myself. Like, I want everything by this guy, and I had a ton of it on CD. So, and it's much harder to come across this on vinyl, like much harder. I had to search for like 7 or 8 years before I finally found a copy of something by Arvo Part. Not very easy to find. But this one's available in the store. It's a 2LP, $30.99. And if you want it, I would tell you jump now. Okay, why? Because it's a $31 record. At a 10% discount, you're getting $3.10 off. And again, I'm not going to tell you that my experience is different, is going to be the same as yours, but I did not have an easy time finding Arvo Part. So I'm going to get to some more of that later. First, I'm going to play you some Henrik Gorecki. All right, Genesis 2. Tell me what you think of the tune. Hope you guys are having a good time. And thank you for the Chivas Fund. $15 towards Chivas. Fucking awesome. Thanks, man. So, what do you think? The kind of thing that you would listen to in a movie, right? Super tense strings. That's my shit, man. That's why I collect in the contemporary classical. It's just there's something off about it. There's something unsettling. It a lot of it sounds quite cinematic, and a lot of it is used in movies. I mean, Penderecki was used at large by Stanley Kubrick, and I'll likely get to some. I collect as much Penderecki as I can. Once you get to know the artists, you start digging in it, and it's like you realize, yeah, this is some of the most evil classical music that's ever been laid to paper. It's pretty amazing. So I'm very happy to be able to play it for you. One thing that actually, I don't know, at this point, should I even be surprised anymore? I guess it's all new to me, but it is surprising, is that we've actually already, two of you bought this Arvo Part record. Was this the one that I played it? No, I played the other Arvo Part. I don't remember because I got only two Arvo Part records. I bought them both new, so I don't remember which one I played earlier. But this is the only one that's available in the store, and there's only two copies left. Like I said, $30.99 minus your discount. Use a discount that's up there. What is it? VJ Sunday or fuck Amazon works this weekend as well, and you'll get your 10%. So those of you that want it. So, you know, new classical does cost more money. It's well pressed. There's a whole bunch of things to it, type of thing. Now, if you want to wait for the older stuff, let me tell you, when it comes to Arvo Part, especially when it comes to this particular artist, forget trying to find the older stuff. Forget it. It's just, this shit, just, you don't find it. I've never seen it. So, if you see it, then you're luckier than me. What it is that I'm saying is, if you enjoy it, get it while you can. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had all my old Arvo Part. I used to have Arvo Part on ECM. Tons of it on CD. Tons of it. I used to have everything. And then I moved to vinyl and everything changed. So what it is that I'm going to do is I'm going to play you something else that we haven't heard before just to give you a little bit of a different taste. I played Tabula Rasa earlier. I'm going to play you another composition that he wrote in 1964, which should explain itself just in terms of the title. Collage on the theme Bach. Okay, so basically, it's his own kind of riff off Bach. This is in three different pieces. So, Toccata, Saraband, and Ricercare. So, tell me what you think. Ricercare means searching for. So, those of you who picked it up, the two of you that picked it up, this is what you can expect. You don't have to have the same taste like me, but if you like what you've heard and you like what you're going to hear, believe me, you'll be happy with the record. And it's not going to be something you'll find around. So I think, in terms of that kind of thing, in terms of that niche, if you like that niche, you scored. In my opinion, you did, and it's like, I can say it without any doubt because, well, I bought these records new myself before we ever had the store, so I'm happy that they're there for you as well. So here we go. Some Arvo Part. Hope you enjoy it. Just a little piece, all right? Just to kind of give you an idea that it's not just that one tune. It's not. It's Arvo Part's the shit, man. A lot of his stuff is religious also. Okay, he's a deeply religious man, so expect it, and expect it not to be not good. In this particular case, you're not going to get rid of the religious stuff, but it's out there, and you're not going wrong if you get that stuff either. Or maybe you should just ease into it and not take my word for it. It is entirely possible to say, you should not listen to anything that somebody who collects records tells you. Because guys like me think a lot of stuff is good, so all I can do is tell you what I'm passionate about. Like, I mean, this is the shit that I put on regularly. This is the stuff that I'm really passionate about most. And when I say that I don't know classical, the stuff that I don't know is mostly the stuff that everybody else does know. I'm never gonna run out of stuff to learn here. This is another record that I received from Bad Inheritance. I'm taking a look at what's like when you write on an album cover, I'm just noticing for the very first time that somebody wrote on this cover and there's all sorts of names written. Okay, so this tells me something about the person who used to own it. Basically, this record, by the way, is called Drums and Orchestra. Okay, Xavier Bangarel and Joseph Soler. Okay, so I'm going to play Joseph Soler, Requiem para Percusión Solo y Orquestra. So you're going to hear some percussion orchestra. Again, it's something that you're not going to find around. It's on a label called Thorophone. When the hell was this released? 1977. So good luck finding it. But like I said, when you write and you can see underneath, right? Check out the shit that I found written underneath this record. It used to belong to somebody who loved punk rock. The names that I see written in here, not written in pen, but like written because it's like indented. Somebody put a piece of paper over it. No Policy, Scum, Bad Results, The Used, GBH, Genetic Control, UK Subs, Dead Kennedys. Yeah, man, all of this shit is kind of ingrained in my album cover. Another Dead Kennedys, Scum. I got all this punk just kind of carved into my record. It's kind of fucking weird. It's pretty awesome though. It's almost like you have to look at it at a certain light. It's almost like an extra puzzle that's in there. So this is something that I just discovered right now, and I think it makes me like the record even more. So why don't we listen to this piece here for percussion? Joseph Soler. Tell me what you think.
Alright, what we'll do is we'll keep it to just a few movements so that we can sample a bit of everything. Honestly, like I said, if you like this kind of a thing and you want me to play stuff that's off the beaten track, I got you. I got a lot of it, man. I realize that it's a bit frustrating for you guys listening to the titles and trying to keep track of it. And probably the easiest thing for me to do is write it down. The thing is that honestly, with the fact that I'm already never operating on enough bandwidth, my brain doesn't process many things at once very well. Adding another task is not something that's feasible for me. So I can tell you about it because I want you to have the records, and I can give you catalog numbers and everything, but I can't write this. It's too much, man. The author that the composer that we just heard is a composer named Josep, Josep Soler, Soler. All right, this is on the Thoraphone label. If you want the catalog number, it's MTH as in Harry 193. Sorry if you don't have a pen and paper handy. Again, it's just I try to do as much as I can, but especially when it comes to this stuff, not that obvious. So you'll have to make do. All right, it's become a personal challenge of mine. Something happened today which I wasn't expecting and which thrills me to no end. We actually sold 3 Arvo Part records today. And we've done that a couple of times. Like that time we sold 4 John Wayne records. It's like, who the fuck buys 4 John Wayne? Like, we're making these runs. This show, man, we're making these runs on these titles that aren't the typical thing. I've sold more Arvo Part records than I've sold Pearl Jam records, and Pearl Jam put out a new record. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me. It's like, I love it. I mean, this is my dream come true. This is the stuff that I like selling. I like selling the stuff that's interesting and the stuff that's, that shows a certain curiosity more than the stuff that, that's not knocking Pearl Jam. It's just Pearl Jam is obvious. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't open a record store so I can sell people Pearl Jam records. And that's not being a snob. It's just not the stuff that gets me excited. For me, knowing that I played some Arvo Part and that we sold 3 of them and there's 1 left, you know what it makes me want to do? It makes me want to sell out that last one. So take your 10%, use your code VJ Sunday. There's 1 copy left at $30.99. Get $3.10 off of it, and it'll be the second time that we completely blow out. Actually, it'll be the third time that we blow out titles that just. We blew out a bunch of Lee Hazelwood. We blew out John Wayne, and we're 1 away from blowing out Arvo Part. And I don't know. Maybe it seems silly to make that a point of pride, but to me, it's a point of pride. I like selling this stuff, especially if it's stuff that if it's the first time you've heard it, it's like, oh my God. As somebody who's bought
Arvo Part for decades now, I know what you're getting. So trust me, what you're getting is something you're not going to get fed up of. If you liked it and you were moved by it, it's only going to get better once you have it on record and start playing it many times for yourself. It's really a special piece. He's a special composer. So what it is that I'll do before I park this one away is I'll play you one more track from Arvo Part, and then we'll move on to Kronos Quartet. They're good too. Hope you're enjoying the show. All right. Funny, Youngblood is talking about exactly how fucked up it could be. Classical music customers can be a real pain in the ass. Jazz customers are a pain in the ass. Classical music people are even worse. It's just, yeah. I don't know, but that's kind of what makes it interesting, I guess. I don't know if I'm one of those guys. I listen to everything, so am I really considered a classical music guy? I don't know. You tell me. So, I was going to go for Kronos Quartet. By the way, that's the last track I'm going to play from Arvo Part. I will say it one more time. This record, Tabula Rasa, is available at vinyljunkies.store. There is exactly one copy left, so get it or forever hold your peace. The other three of you that picked it up, I know what you're getting. You'll be happy you picked it up. I have it. I've been playing it for the last few years that I have it. It's a good one. So if you're looking to expand, you're kind of strange, if you want to call it that, just, left of center classical music, this is certainly one that I haven't met somebody who doesn't like it, who doesn't think it's just the most emotive stuff ever, So I'm happy that you got to listen to it and that you decided to put it in your own collection. Should we be playing The Gambler? You know what? I gotta tell you, man, it doesn't feel. Nah, I don't want to play the fucking Gambler. I got this groove. We got this groove. So I don't know. If you guys think we should play The Gambler, we can play The Gambler. You can decide, You can help me decide. So, what are we gonna play next? How about some Frank Zappa? I love Frank Zappa's classical stuff. It's weirdo stuff. It's stuff that's completely fed by people like Stravinsky and Edgar Varese and Xenakis and all these weirdos. So there's definitely a through line when it comes to this. It's not the easiest stuff to find. There's a record called A Yellow Shark that I've been looking for. Never even seen it. And one record that people didn't really care for very much. There were only 10,000 ever pressed, and Zappa has actually went, I think, what was it, on Letterman or something like that. He went on some talk show and basically said, no, it's like, look, you put records like this out. You don't put records like this out to make money. You lose money on records like this. What you do is you tour so that you can make enough money to create a budget to be able to release records like this. So Frank Zappa was very much a composer who just wanted to hear his music performed. And that's why he would tour the rock and roll stuff so he could make a bunch of money and record and compose the stuff that he knew other people wouldn't buy, because he just wanted to hear his music being played. This would apply. Not a record you're going to find around too often, but Zappa Files will have it. London Symphony Orchestra. We're going to listen to a song called Sad Jane. It's a 9-minute plus composition. And for those of you that were wondering about Frank Zappa's weirder stuff or Frank Zappa's classical stuff, there's a few of them. There's the Yellow Shark. There's this one, Symphony Orchestra. One called Francesco Zappa, which is him doing some music from a 19th century composer named Francesco Zappa. His real name is Francesco Zappa, and what he did is he took his music and transcribed it on the what the hell's that fucking thing that he was crazy for, that electronic instrument? I can't remember anymore. But anyway, I can't remember, so it's no point. It's a good record. Actually, you know what? I'll say that it's a bad record because most people don't want it. So this is the Frank Zappa that only the crazy people like. The classical stuff. We're going to listen to Sad Jane from London Symphony Orchestra. Hope you enjoy it. So, what do you think? Yeah or nay? You want to understand Zappa in his purest form? In what mattered most to him? Listen to his compositions. Listen to his classical music. Everything that he did, even the rock and roll stuff, he was all about being a composer over and above everything else. So, the purest form of Zappa, for what he likes, this is the shit right here. The fans, it's a different story. And he knew, he kind of made fun of that whole thing during the 80s. It's like, the fact that he'd have to go play colleges and play Uncle Remus for the college bros. He didn't care. He knew what it is that he needed to do. The guy worked. It's as simple as that. He saw music, he saw his art as work. And he had only so many hours in a day, and that's why he was a workaholic, because he crammed as much work as he could right up until he was sick, until he couldn't do it anymore. The guy actually composed from his bed, from his deathbed, during the time that he was getting treated for colorectal cancer. So, you know what I'm saying? If an artist tells you this is what I want, kind of thing, this is, the stuff that I cherish the most, if you like the artist, you're going to wind up getting into it. Weird things happened over the last couple of days. I suddenly have a bunch of packages coming to me. Besides the stuff that I bought, I made a big order today for like $300. So I have a bunch of records from the store coming in for myself. You guys, all of your records that you ordered over the weekend are coming in. I've noticed that a bunch of stuff went out today because the warehouse is running. I'm very proud to say that our warehouse that fulfills all the orders, no casualties. Everyone's 100% healthy. We're taking care of this property. We made sure that the whole back end got a deep clean and that kind of thing. So it looks like they really did their part. I'm happy about that. Okay. Some of you still experienced the whole thing about records selling out. I know that happened with a few Tony Allen, a few Fela Kuti records after Tony Allen died. Look, we tightened up that gap like by a lot. Okay, we're sending orders out every hour. So, if anything, what it is that it should tell you exactly what happens when a musician dies and how there's just this crazy run on all the albums. Like Tony Allen died and everybody scooped up a bunch of stuff. I mean, I went there for myself because I had the Fela Kuti box set that was, what was it? It was done by Erykah Badu. All right, some of her favorite albums. Basically, she curated the box set for people who like to smoke a joint and listen to Afrobeat. That's basically around what her liner notes said, kind of thing, something to that effect. I had it in my wish list for months. Go look to pull the trigger today, and boom, gone. So it happened to me too. That said, we're still putting out orders. We're pushing out orders every hour. So, trust me, man, we're doing our end as much as you possibly can imagine. You should also know that, in the case of stuff like Arvo Part, for example, there's one copy left. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure that we're the only ones buying these records right now. You know what I'm saying? So when the warehouse looks at this and they say, oh, wow, we sold 3 of the same record. Why? You guys are why. Because we're record nerds and we buy weird shit. We don't buy what's popular, we buy what we like and we buy what we hear. It's as simple as that. We're all in a virtual living room here. We're all in a virtual record store. So if you like what you hear, obviously the first thing you're going to go do is buy the damn thing. Why? Because you collect records and that's what we do. So, I got to tell you, I've said this before. Just because you go into the store and you say, oh, I spent this much money in the store. I don't feel fucking sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you at all. Because I've done the same thing over and over again. I just did it today to the tune of $300. 10 days ago, I did it again. So, I get it. Believe me, I get it. What do you want me to do? Tell you, oh, no. Of course not. I've never regretted a single fucking record purchase of my entire life, so trust me. If you're anything like me, all you're doing is investing in your own long-term happiness. Records are therapy, man. Music is magic. So I'm not telling you that it's going to be the same kind of deal for with me, with you, or should I say that it was with me? But what I'm saying is, if you are anything like me, yeah, this record stuff, it's not going to stop. Once the bug gets you. What we're going to do now is play some Kronos Quartet. Those of you who have been asking for it. Very specifically, Nelson asked for the soundtrack to Requiem for a Dream, the Darren Aronofsky film. That's amazing. It's an amazing soundtrack. I looked for this forever. And finally, it came out on Record Store Day and immediately sold out. Thankfully, Billy at Warner Brothers sent me a promo copy because I wouldn't have gotten a copy. This was a Record Store Day thing. I wouldn't have gone out for this. So I'm happy that I got a copy. It's absolutely gorgeous if you ever have a chance to get your hands on it, kind of thing. I'm hoping that they reissue it at the same time. I've bugged the folks at Warner, Matt Block, who does the Run Out Group stuff. I've bugged them more than once. It's like, dude, you got to release Kronos Quartet. You need to reissue this stuff. It's great stuff. You know, so nothing ever came of it, but it doesn't mean I didn't try. For no other reason that I like the records, man. I think the Kronos Quartet are the bomb. And I think that if enough people knew about it, they'd buy a lot of records from them. So why don't we play something from the soundtrack to Requiem for a Dream? Maybe I'll play you a few other themes too. I got some, what do I have? Olivier Messiaen lined up next. So some French weirdness. And we'll continue this whole thing. Hope you're enjoying it, man. I'm having a blast. Here's some Kronos Quartet for you. right. Oh, I'll play you a little bit more later. That's more of the electronic stuff. I let it go on because the themes are as thin, are really quite short. I'll try to find you a longer theme. Great record though. Split up on 4 sides. Each side represents one of the seasons. So summer, fall, winter, and spring. Quite good, you know. Watch the movie if you haven't already. What we're gonna do now is listen to some more weirdness. This is more French stuff. A lot of the contemporary stuff came out of France, man. So if you ever see any Philips, there's a whole series of these records. They're foil stamped, and they're all pretty. They got cool designs. So, I mean, some of this stuff is highly collectible. So if you ever see this collection, Perspective 21e siècle, which is perspective 21st century, and you just see kind of like these silver covers on Philips, this is the good shit. You don't have to know it, it's just good. So what I'll do is I'll play you some Percussion de Strasbourg, and you guys can decide for yourself what you think, okay? What we're listening to is Tona Sherkin. Again, a lot of this stuff I don't even know my name. I just know this series of records, and I own maybe 4 or 5 from this kind of like foil stamped series. So I thought I'd hip you to the fact that it exists, and if you want it, you go out and buy it. Give it a listen, all right? Tell me what you think. Percussion de Strasbourg. go. So you now know who les percussions de Strasbourg are. Basically, the percussionists of Strasbourg, France, is what they're referring to. Quite good, off the beaten track. Again, it's the kind of stuff that you kind of have to know, or you just have to be naturally curious to go out and look for. So, if you want to know the truth, the reason it is that I bought this record is because I knew that there were a bunch that were part of this silver embossed series, and I knew that they were all kind of interesting. So, I just went out and bought a bunch of them. I think one of them was a Xenakis one. That's probably where it is that I got hooked for the first time, which reminds me, I'm going to play some Xenakis for you. I'm not done there either. Some more good stuff, man. I mean, relatively speaking, if you consider this kind of music good, quote unquote, right? Because you talk to most rock and roll fans, and it's like, what's this shit that you're listening to? And that's exactly why it is that I don't like to talk to rock and roll fans. Just Zappa said it, man. The mind is like a parachute. It works better when it's open. So, I'm happy that there's so many of you that are digging this. Surprised. I have a feeling it's a surprise that's going to... The element of surprise is going to go away eventually, because I've noticed this with a few shows. I've played some stuff, and I didn't think that... I thought like people would just tune out, and you guys didn't tune out. You guys kept hanging around. So, pretty cool, man. I'm glad to know that people like music that's off the beaten path, and I'm glad to know that I can play it. I mean, listen, I'm going to play it anyway. I just didn't think that I'd play it for anybody who cared. I guess is what I'm saying. Everyone wants to hear your poem, Miss Angela. She's had a couple of drinks in her, so she's all excited now. She's like the belle of the ball for today, Angela. Everyone's paying attention to her, so everybody, hey, do you want to read? Yeah. We want to hear you drunkenly tell a poem. Absolutely. This is what we want. The phone line is not down. The phone line is up. So if you decide that you want to do this on the telephone, you better get up and make the phone call. 424-444-7574. I guess what we'll do is we'll wait for this lady to get on the phone and read a poem to me. I mean, what can go wrong, right? You already know she doesn't get much sleep because she's working all the time as a nurse. You know she's a little kooky and getting kookier by the second. And she's already told you she's drunk. So, I mean, what can go wrong? Call the number, Angela. We're waiting here. 424-7574. What, you afraid? You're not afraid. Or should I be calling you? No, I don't want to call you. It's not the same if I call you. I think I mentioned to you guys that you can expect a whole bunch of promo coming. I know that there's a box that they've been talking about from Metal Blade Records. So I got a metal box that hasn't been sent out yet, but I got a metal box coming in. I have a box from Coal Mine Records, so some funk coming in as well. And a whole bunch of other stuff. All right, let's listen to what Angela has to say. Good evening, Miss Angela. How are you?
I'm great. I have a fantastic poem for you.
Angela, how are you? Did you work today?
Are you ready for it?
Let's talk first. I want to get that. I want to know how you are first. Is that okay, or do we have to get straight to it? Before
okay. I guess we can do some conversation foreplay. Sure.
I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, tickle my tits first before you start reading poems to me, no?
Fair enough. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I never thought that I'd be doing a show like this. Same shit all the time, man. A pair of pajamas and a t-shirt. Chances are, the weather's starting to get warm, so pajamas are eventually going to give way to shorts. You're off today? You didn't work today?
No, not today.
Tomorrow back to the grind?
Back to the grind.
You enjoy your day, though?
Okay, I gotta tell you my poem because I'm getting the evil eye from Andrew, who says I'm embarrassing him. So
like
my
he
time here is
didn't know
limited.
he didn't know that about you. I can already see what you're all about. You're a fucking spitfire, aren't you? You're a weird little girl, aren't you? You're like all fucking cookies and
I am
cream
not
on one
boring.
side, and on the other side you're like the devil.
I was raised by a fucking mongoloid. What do you expect?
I want to hear your poem. I don't know what to expect from
Okay.
you anymore. Go. Let's hear this.
Okay. It's called Ooey Gooey.
Ooey gooey from the one and only Angela Davis. Let's go. Let's hear this.
Ooey Gooey was a worm. A mighty worm was he. He crawled across the railroad tracks with a train he did not see. Ooey Gooey.
So the whole joke is that he got ran over. He got run over by the train.
That's my poem.
You wrote that. When did you write that?
I got it from my really corny neighbor named Bobby Z. He
So
told me that when I was a kid, and I never forgot it, and I felt compelled to share it with you because
What?
you were playing classical music, and that's what Bobby Z always played. So it reminded me of the terrible Ooey Gooey poem.
Who's Bobby V?
Okay, I gotta go now. Bobby Z was my neighbor when I grew up, but Andrew's yelling at me, so I gotta go.
Why?
Good night.
Andrew, we're talking to your wife. We like your wife. Angela is a kept woman. That's what we've just found out. Fucking weirdo. I mean, is it just me? Or is that not much of a poem? She said she remembered that since the age of 8. So, that's a long freaking time. She's remembered that for at least a couple decades. I'm trying to understand what the deal is there. I want to know more about Ooey Gooey now, but fucking Andrew doesn't want her to tell us about Ooey Gooey. Who's this guy that you're talking about? Who is your neighbor? Peck Pelvis Pete? I want to know more about your neighbor, Peck Pelvis Pete, now. You just opened up an entire Pandora's box of stupidity. I fell in. I gave you a chance to give to tell us your moron haiku. We listened. And now we have all sorts of questions, and you're just leaving me hanging like this? How does this work? Why do I take these calls? It's metaphorical, eh? So what you're telling me is this poem is so fucking simple, it flew right over my head. The only thing that I understood about that poem is that this worm crossed railroad tracks and it got squished on the railroad tracks, and that's why it was called Ooey Gooey. But it doesn't really make sense. You know why? Because, I mean, how could it be called Ooey Gooey? It didn't die on the railroad tracks to begin with, right? So how did it get the name? The name must have come from someone else. How does one acquire the name Ooey Gooey without any context? It doesn't make sense to me. So I guess, yeah, maybe there's some big cosmological question in this stupid little poem that Angela read to us. I'm just trying to play some classical music here and she confuses me with this cosmology. What's going on? You should talk to Brooke. He believes in aliens. This dude, I'm telling you, man, he knows everything that there is to know about anal probes. Everything. Every fucking thing. 15 years I know him. He's still going on about fucking UFOs. He believes this shit for real. So, I kind of don't understand the Ooey Gooey joke. It's, I guess that's the point. That's what it is that you're trying to tell me. That this neighbor of yours, Peck Pelvis Pete, told you when you were 8. And this joke is so deceptively simple that you haven't forgotten it all these years. Is that what you're trying to say here? I mean, you're going to drop that kind of a bombshell on me. I gotta know. I mean, should we be dealing with this on an existential level? Am I doing this wrong, Angela? Or should I just kind of take at face value that you're hammered right now? You're drunk. So you want to be a little peacock. You need some attention. Everybody loves your jokes right now. Your jokes are corny as fuck. Like, I mean, you gotta know your jokes are pretty corny. Somehow you're the only person who makes this work. I don't understand you, Angela. You are a little bit of an enigma. I don't get it. But, thank you. Now I'm gonna be thinking about fucking ooey gooey this entire time. How did you do that? How does something like ooey gooey the worm all of a sudden just sink into your brain and into your consciousness and all of a sudden burrow itself to the point where you start thinking about it on a cosmological level? How does this happen? Is it because I'm too high? Is it because I'm not high enough? Should I be having another mint? Should I be having another delicious mint to take me through the rest of the evening? Or is it exactly the opposite, that I've had one too many mints and I'm asking entirely too many questions about really dumb shit that shouldn't be thought of this deeply? I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. I'm afraid of disappointing you, Angela. I'm afraid of disappointing you. You got me all fucking twisted up here. I'm just trying to do a humble classical show. You come in, you fucking tell me this stupid joke, and you twist me up for the next 30 minutes. How did you do that? Angela, what special powers do you yield? What's your deal? There's something weird about you. You're kind of weird. I haven't figured out what kind of makes you weird. You're weird, like, but in a Disney character kind of way. So I haven't kind of figured it out. Like, you're weird in a cute Minnie Mouse Disney character kind of way, but Minnie Mouse isn't weird at all. She's mom and apple pie and everything, but Goofy's kind of weird. Goofy, I mean, what is Goofy? Pluto's a dog. You can tell that Pluto's a dog. But what the fuck is Goofy? I mean, what is he? I don't know what he is. He's got a nose. He wears clothes. Pluto doesn't wear clothes. We know he's a dog. Pluto's a dog, period. What's Goofy with those clothes on? What's the deal? Gosh, why does he talk like that? So, you're kind of like that, Angela. You're one of these characters. You're an enigma. I don't know. You got that cute thing happening. You got that goofy Disney thing happening. And you ask for, what's that shit that you asked for? Fucking agnostic front. You're asking for hardcore. This is way confusing for me. I didn't ask for this. Your wife asked for this. Your wife needed it to be a peacock. She needed to take over the airwaves. And now instead of playing music, I'm fucking obsessed with Ooey Gooey, the worm. I don't even remember the fucking poem. I don't remember the poem. All I remember is Ooey Gooey the worm. And the reason he got called Ooey Gooey... Jeff, is that your mother? What the fuck is going on Zoom? Dude, Jeff, what are you doing? I got this old lady listening to us on Zoom. Like, who is that? Mrs. Butterworth? What's that character? That Robin Williams character? Mrs. Doubtfire. Jeff Duval's mother looks like this. This is way too fucking strange. Dude, I am like a combination of too high and too fucking tired and weirded out to be dealing with all this now. That doesn't look like a mask, Jeff Duval. That looks like your mother. He's fucking nodding on top of that. Your mother's a golden girl. I didn't know that. Jeff Duval, son of a golden girl. Well, what's going on about the ooey gooey? I know all of you, even Brooke. Brooke stopped acting weird just so he can look at fucking Jeff Duval's Mrs. Butterworth, Mrs. Doubtfire. Dude, what are you doing? Seriously, what's the deal with that? That's not a mask. No, 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 you're fucking nodding at me. You are completely fucking up my mojo right now. Dude, what is that? Nelson, somebody help me. What's going on Jeff Duval's Zoom? This isn't right. Oh my god, this was supposed to be a cultural. This was supposed to be a cultural hour. We're supposed to listen to a bit of cultural music, listen to some classical music, expand our horizons. This fucking maniac calls me with ooey gooey and twists up my brain. And Jeff Duval's mother is like fucking Mrs. Doubtfire. What is going on, man? Right? Like, I mean, everybody, you have to see, there's 9 of us. There's 9 of us on Zoom. And I know, usually we're all paying attention to Brooke, because Brooke's doing something weird. Brooke's always doing something weird. In this case, everybody's just staring at Jeff Duval. People that have never gotten on Zoom before are getting on Zoom because it's like, I gotta see Mrs. Doubtfire. And she's just looking at me with this face and not answering. She just nods. Dude, what's going on, man? Is that a costume? She's even wearing a fucking old lady's scarf around her shoulders. This is authentic. But there's a bunch of records in the back. None of this makes sense. I'm really fucking high. I know I am, but I'm pretty sure that none of this makes sense even if I wasn't high. This is not the way you get new people to watch your show. I just want to tell you that the only way that you can pay attention to this fucking lunacy, because it is, there's something like, break out of character! You're acting like an old lady, it's confusing me. It's completely fucking confused. It's doing my brain in right now. Jeff Duval is one of the Golden Girls. Something's really fucked. Yeah, you see Joseph Delaney. Everybody's fucking piling onto the Zoom right now. Everyone wants to know. Believe me, you want to know. There's something fucked happening here. Like the whole Zoom chat is fucking blowing up. You see? This is why people become VJ patrons. Just so that they can log onto the Zoom chat. Because all, like, really strange shit happens. It's only open to VJ patrons, so $2 a month allows you the Zoom chat so that you can see what's going on. And I'm not sure that you'll understand what's going on either. She's got the same fucking look all the time. She's just moving around like an old lady. Where's your walker? Show me your walker. Do you walk around with a walker? Prove to me that you're a real old lady. Show me your box of Depends. She's fixing her hair. She's fixing her hair. And then fucking big old pancake, whoever you are, says she looks just like Jeff. No, Jeff doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like a costume. Something's going on here. Show me your box of Depends. Then I'll believe that it's Mrs. Butterworth. This can't possibly be interesting to anybody. This is the big deal. You have to understand that Gingivitis broadcasts. One thing that we learned is that Zoom is very important. What do people do on Zoom? Nothing constructive. They come on and they act stupid. They wear costumes. Like, I have no idea what it is that makes people act completely out of the ordinary on Zoom. But this is what happens. Everybody starts going through costume changes. Janice actually put on lipstick. Even her husband didn't fucking recognize her. She puts on these fucking straps. She's wearing a pair of yoga pants. These stretch yoga pants with fishnet stockings. She had this whole deal going. Like, I still don't understand what Janice was going for there. She looked kind of like Lara Croft if she was a stripper. But with like this really red lipstick. And people do that. They just wear costumes. But I'm just trying to understand why. Fucking bitch isn't breaking character either. Dude, how are you doing this? That doesn't look like makeup. You're fucking me up. Seriously. Can somebody please call in? Jeff Duval, can you please call in and explain what's going on? I need this guy's phone number. Oh. This was supposed to be a cultural show. All right. My brain hurts. Fuck. What is the deal with ooey gooey? I can't fucking take this. I can't take my eyes off of you, Jeff Duval. Like, I am genuinely, completely. What are you doing? Alright, listen, I'm gonna listen to some music. I realize that this can't be fun for the rest of you. But hey, this is fun for the rest of us. The Zoom chat is very interesting. That's what we learned about during these gingivitis broadcasts. You become a patron, just $2 a month, you can get on this Zoom chat. And you can see all this craziness. Like, there's all sorts of questions. This is where it is that you get into people's lives, and they don't even have. It's just you just see that people are just naturally weird. Why does Shannon hang out in her car all the fucking time? Don't you have a house? She could no. Instead, she listens in the car, and everybody comes to see her in the car. Do you live in your car? Is that the deal here? You live somewhere where it's warm enough, you don't want to pay any rent, so you live in your car? I mean, just. And people yelling at me, ooey gooey. It's something's not right here. Alright. Look. I know you guys think that I'm trying to do shtick, but you need to realize that this is really doing in my head right now. Please, Jeff Duval, explain to me how it is that you haven't broken character in 15 minutes. And it doesn't. Does it look like makeup? I mean, you tell me. Guys, you tell me. Does this look like makeup to you? Oh. I forgot what we're going to play. I'm tired. Alright. This is probably not a good idea. We're going to listen to more Requiem for a Dream. Oh, that's fucking gross. She's showing tongue. Jeff Duval's grandma is showing tongue. And, I mean, if you remember the movie, this is not going to finish good. Those of you who remember the movie Requiem for a Dream, the old lady, she gets all fucked up. She gets hooked on speed. And, this is where it's headed. She's giving me tongue. So, Ooey Gooey's not a patron. Stop. Phil Anselmo's not a patron either. Bongo's not a patron. This is all stuff to make me crazy. That's not a mask! Dude, look at the face! That's not a fucking mask. I'm convinced that's not a mask. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Asshole! Tell me what the fuck's going on! I can't take it anymore! This is doing my fucking head in! It's doing my head in! Somebody help me. An old lady's showing me her tongue. I don't know if this is good. Listen. I'm not feeling very confident about playing you some more Kronos Quartet. If you see me suddenly fucking like crawl into the corner in a fetal ball, call 911. Like if you can, as a matter of fact, just kind of like dial 91. And as soon as you start seeing me break out in tears, dial the other one, because I might be too fucking tired for. This was supposed to be a culture show. This wasn't supposed to happen. Ooey gooey. People wearing masks. This is not the way it is that you build a show. You guys are ruining everything for me. All right. Now we're going to listen to some Requiem for a Dream and it'll fuck us up even further. Thanks. I feel like vomiting now. What the fuck is going on, man? going on? This, in a lot of ways, is the strangest show we've done up to now, day 52. I'm not sure what the hell's going on here. The mojo's kind of weird. I didn't drink more than usual. At all. Didn't even have an extra shot. My regular one beer, I got a sip left. I had 2-3 mints like I always have. I had my nice shot of Chivas. I'm done with my bottle. You figure everything would be okay. And then Angela called with this fucking worm joke. Stupid joke. Fucking ooey gooey. And that's the first thing that unsettles me. And then I look Jeff Duval. Something's going on. Some kind of Mrs. Doubtfire shit's happening on Zoom. I don't know what it is. And then you combine Kronos Quartet doing the soundtrack to this Clint Mansell movie, Requiem for a Dream, and I'm actually feeling nauseous. What is that? How did I get here? Wait a second, I was supposed to be having fun here. Why do I feel like vomiting suddenly? What happened? What happened today? Phone calls. Alright. You hung up, you dickhead. Fucking people. Give me a chance to answer the phone. Okay, well I can't call you back, so I don't know who tried to call. But can somebody explain to me what's going on? Is it just me? I mean, I don't think I'm making any of this up. This feels weird. Everything feels weird about tonight. Yeah, dude, who's going? What's up?
Hey, Sam.
Who is this?
Hey, it's Youngblood, man. I got no pranks for you tonight. Just nothing but good stuff to say. I just want to make sure you're okay over there. Are you stoned? You good?
Is it just me, or is this really a weird? Something weird's going on tonight. There's some kind of weird fucking mojo
It's
vibe.
a weird show. It's a weird show, man. I tried to call you within the first 45 minutes, just to give you some love, and then the worm thing happened, and it just got weird from there. But I just want to re-vomitate my sentiment that I wanted to tell you earlier. I really resonated deep down in my loins about what you said earlier about you guys really like this. I can't believe people like this, and that's been me all my life with my friends, my small group of friends. No one likes this shit. So these Outcast shows are really, they're really important to me, man. I had a speaker thrown at my face in high school because I played Residence, and someone didn't like it. Before that, in middle school, my sister used to complain to my mom about having panic attacks because she always heard aliens landing in my room. And all that was Steve Roach and Brian Eno and shit. And so yeah, I appreciate you taking us on these outskirts. And I just want to call to ground you because you looked a little too fucking stoned, man.
I don't know if it's possible
for these shows.
I'm not really sure if it's possible for me to be too stoned. Like, I went out for a walk earlier today. My friend Frank.
Kira's been there.
Frank and Tasha came to visit me earlier. Every time they need weed, they come and call me. So they came in, and it was time, you know. They all pretend, hey, Sam, I miss you. You want to go for a walk? Yeah, you fucking asshole. You all of a sudden, he's never wanted to go for a walk before. All of a sudden, he wants to walk with me. And it's like,
by the way,
can
you spare me a nuggie?
What?
And he's like, by the way, can you give me some nuggets?
Oh, that's what. Yeah, and he wants mints and stuff. And the swimming pool's going to be open soon, so all of a sudden he's going to find me much more interesting. In the winter, he never finds me, and these people don't find me interesting in the winter. They don't want to know nothing about me. But all of a sudden, the swimming pool open. So I'm like, what's going on here? I wanted this to be a cultural show, like you. Okay, I can't believe that people are actually listening to this and actually enjoying it. And the part that's freaking me out most, I guess I'm gonna have to get used to it, but the part that's freaking me out most is, dude, we legit sold 3 Arvo Part records today. There's one left in the fucking store. That's some weirdness to me. That's some weirdness, no?
It's a good. Yeah, so I just wanted to call. My call was not supposed to be weird. It's supposed to be in the first 30 minutes, but just to thank you for this stuff, because the few friends I keep close can listen to this stuff, and the girlfriend's like, hey, you should go hang with your friends when we're going to hike. I'm like, yeah, they fucking don't like good music. So, yeah, it feels really cool to have all these crazy motherfuckers that I can listen to, even though they've never heard it. They're still receptive to it.
Weird,
and receptive to me putting on lipstick, which I've never done. So
see, that's what it is. The part that I'm trying to understand. What is it that moves somebody to put on lipstick? Like, you're not the first person who's put on lipstick. Janice put on lipstick for us. It's like, what the fuck you think this is, Janice? Saturday Night Fever? Like, she looked like she was ready to go out to a discotheque.
Janice moved me.
So what made you?
And her husband moved me.
What made you put on lipstick? Why?
I was going to look for some chapstick in the drawer, and everyone was playing dress up, and I was like, I'd never put on lipstick in my life. Let's put on some fucking lipstick.
Was it your
goddamn Chronos?
It's your girlfriend's?
Yeah, this isn't mine. And then she fucking opened the door. I had to bend down, pretend I was plugging in some wires. She would have been like, what the fuck are you doing?
Does she give you shit for listening to my show?
No, not at all. We were working in the garage last night, or in the morning, and she's like, don't you want to listen to your Sam guy? I'm like, he's not on right now, but fuck yeah, I want to listen to my Sam guy.
You're the one who's got the Mex-Italian girlfriend that gave you shit for talking to me, right?
Just that first time that her name got brought up. Now,
but
I think she's a fan.
Well, it's because I played popcorn for her. Dude, the girls, they love me. I'm a handsome man.
I know.
I'm fucking charming like crazy. I'm like a pig. You understand pigs?
I don't know, man. You're starting to turn me, because you're a cute guy.
I am. I know. So,
my cat can't hear all this. I gotta go.
He's got to get off because of his.
We're almost done.
He's got to get off because of his cat. Okay, so I got lost. I don't care.
I just want you to play some more music.
I'm gonna play some.
I'm gonna go sneak this lipstick back in the drawer when she's not looking.
I'm gonna close off with some Philip Glass, which kind of gets into the electronic side of things. Yeah, I know that.
Get it, boy.
Yeah, I know that that's exactly what you want. So we're kind of gonna start getting into the more experimental electronic stuff that crosses over with the cross.
Sam knows what I want, but I really want.
He hung up before I got to hang up, but that last line, that's precisely what would have made it so that I hang up on him. This album was released in 1974. I think. Music in 12 parts begun in May 1971 and completed in April 74. Oh. This is an extended cycle of music normally requiring 3 concerts to perform in its entirety. It is intended to describe a vocabulary of techniques which have and are appearing in my music. Individual parts feature one or several aspects of a common musical language, presenting and developing them in somewhat unusual ways. They are characterized by different procedures, note choices, and rhythmic profile. So this is all musical experiments. That's what Philip Glass used to do. And we're going to listen to it now. Oddly enough, this is not the weirdest thing that's happened tonight. The music is not the weirdest part of tonight. I'm going to need to sleep on it to try to figure out what exactly goes on in these things. But we're having some kind of fun. We're having something, that's for sure. So, if you're ready for some Philip Glass and you've never heard any, time to get your little electronic brains scrambled a little. This is the good shit. If you find Philip Glass in the store, you want to go pick it up. So, I'm glad to be playing it for you. hand to hand, right? There you go. Philip Glass, man, this shit's weird. Steve Reich tends to get like that too. This is the shit that's good listening, man. Steve Roach, Pascal Parmigiani. There's a whole bunch of these guys. I love it all, really. I was gonna just finish the entire night off with the rest of side 4 of Kronos Quartet. I'm legit gonna need to stop smoking and put a cold compress on my head, because something's a little weird. Something's a little weird about this. Look, hang on to your idea, DeRosa. The spaghetti western thing can happen as a theme night at one point, so you can bring it up, and if you got enough takers, I can do it. I got a lot of fucking soundtracks, man. A lot of soundtracks. I love it, you know. Who just asked? Somebody tipped me something, so now I gotta keep this going. It's the last show of the night, so I kind of don't care if we get thrown off or not. I've been playing long songs, but it's because it's weird shit that it doesn't get flagged. I mean, I'm pretty sure that if I played Pearl Jam, we'd get flagged after 2 minutes, kind of thing. But here we are. We just listened to 20 minutes of Philip Glass and tripped up nothing. So maybe that's a good thing. Big Planet, whatever your name is, Big Pancake, left a last minute tip for Colin Stetson. So now I feel like I owe it to you, but I didn't cue it on time. So I guess we're going to go over. We're already 13 minutes over, so one thing I am proud of is the fact that I always over-deliver. That's not something I do for you. It's something I do for me. I always have to give back more than I receive. It makes me feel good to know that I did that. And, you know, no one can ever say that I did things halfway. So we're going to listen to the rest of side 4 of the Kronos Quartet soundtrack of the Aronofsky movie, Requiem for a Dream. I have a feeling it's going to make me even more nauseous. Angela fucking ooey gooey, and Jesus Christ ooey gooey, says, I really enjoyed watching how the music affects your cats. Their ears never relaxed all night, and only when you turn off the last track did they come back. Yeah, I guess. I mean, Anthrax sleeps right through it. Anthrax is used to this shit. All right, you're gonna go. We're gonna go a little extra, okay? Very, very deep gratitude for tonight. Everything about this community is amazing. It's unfucking believable to me that we're all still here and listening to this. Pretty cool. I mean, is it just me? Am I making too much of this? To me, it just seems crazy. So, here's your Kronos Quartet and Pancake Boy. I'll cue up your Colin Stetson for you. Any more? A little bit of ambient at the back. Well, what it is that I can tell you, East Texas guy, is that if you've never heard of the movie Requiem for a Dream and you enjoyed what we just listened to, I absolutely promise that if you take the chance, if you take the time to look up the movie Requiem for a Dream and watch it, we have absolutely just introduced you to something that you're never going to forget. Ever, ever, ever. It's a truly disturbing film. It'll put the music in place, and it's an experience I think everyone should have. But yeah, you got to be ready to watch strange shit. I'm not sure I could watch that tonight. You know what I'm saying? This was freaking amazing. What the hell happened here? Like, I don't even understand it. I'm glad I don't feel so alone. I'm glad to know that I'm not the only weirdo. Very, very cool. So check it. I'm going to end off with the request. Whoever the fuck gave me the request, I forgot who it was. Big Old Pancake, was that you? So you wanted some Colin Stetson? We're going to finish off with some Colin Stetson, alright? Interestingly enough, Colin Stetson is probably what's going to get this stream blocked. And even more interesting than that is that I know exactly who controls the copyright. Jeff. Nelson? Jeff? Yeah, that Jeff controls the copyright, and we're going to get blocked. I can't even fucking tell you how aggravating that is to me. It's like, fuck that bullshit. It's just I don't feel like dealing with it. So you guys enjoy the show. If you see that it goes down, don't worry about it. I'm gonna scrub. If it's only the Colin Stetson song that gets it taken down, I'm gonna scrub the Colin Stetson song. But this is the last one. All right. Hope you dig it. A most excellent evening, wasn't it? You still got half an hour to use your code if you want to save 10% off your order. VJ Sunday. Thank you so much for an amazing evening. This was absolutely amazing. Yeah, man, I got you for Colin Stetson, brother. I got you. We're going to listen to it right now.
What war was this? What town could this be?
All right. You know what I think I'm going to do? You guys are asking me some good questions. So, we haven't been thrown off. I'm going to play you another Colin Stetson because I thought I'd be too tired to kind of tell you, but I guess I'm not too tired. Colin Stetson. What it is that you're listening to there is Colin Stetson playing a saxophone, but instead of just a horn being mic'd, every single key on his horn, every key on his saxophone is mic'd up and looped through. So what it is that you're hearing when you hear the key, you're hearing him hit the key and everything just looping over and over and over again. And it is so physically draining that this is basically akin to him running a marathon. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Colin Stetson live, but by the time the dude's done with the performance, he is absolutely drenched in sweat. He enjoys the challenge of being, he enjoys the physical challenge of playing this music. That's what he does. And he actually trains very much like a marathon runner would train in order to be able to get through a show and a performance. So yeah, you're listening to something that's pretty special. So what category is Colin Stetson? There's no category for Colin Stetson. Nobody mics up every key of their microphone and does this. It's just it's completely unique. It's one of a kind, and it's something that I would most certainly recommend that you look up. Colin Stetson's done a bunch of soundtracks as well. All interesting stuff. So you're not going wrong, you know? The next one seems like a short one. I'll play you a few more. I'll play you a few more. You guys are here. All right. More Colin Stetson. Thank you to whoever sent the super tip for that. It's appreciated. Guys, if you want this kind of weirdo classical stuff, I can do this shit all day long, man. I got a lot of this stuff. I haven't even scratched the surface. I said that I was going to play some Xenakis. I didn't get the Xenakis. I didn't get the Stockhausen. I didn't get to a ton of stuff. Steve Reich. There's so much of this. At least in my collection. It's like, I guess if you want to get really to the heart of what, makes me tick, you can point to stuff like jazz, which I love. You can point to those kinds of things and soundtracks and all, but yeah. It's the classical music where you really see exactly how weird I like it. To me, rock and roll, that's why rock and roll is just, I like it and all, but, it's going to take a little bit to make me hear something that I haven't heard before. So I really like when that happens. And when I catch somebody like Colin Stetson doing what he does with a saxophone, that's just one guy, eh? It's pretty mind-blowing. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to smoke a bit more and play you some more Colin Stetson. I'm glad listen, I'm really glad you're enjoying it, man. I am too. Certainly don't feel so alone in the world. I can't fucking believe there's an audience for this. Oh well. Enjoy it. So, oh! Gingivitis everywhere. Never good to cough when you got your lungs filled with marijuana smoke. But the bubbles. We just got the bubbles. So that means that I'm back to being high as fuck. Why won't you guys ever let me stop this show? We're going on, what is it, 4 hours now? Craziness. We have a whole lot of Colin Stetson in the store. I will be picking up a bunch of it myself. I'm hoping that there's not 2 copies of everything so I can make it, which is kind of crazy because it'll be my second big order today. I already ordered about $100, $300 worth of records earlier today. So, by the way, whoever ordered that fucking John Prine, you're not getting the record. You didn't get it in time. So freaking frustrating. I tell you guys about these records and they sell out so goddamn fast. So yeah, we're going to have to refund for that John Prine. I hate it. Whole lot of Colin Stetson though. And he's still alive, so maybe this stuff's not going to be as in demand, and I'm assuming that you're going to find it. Just looking real quick, there's this one right here that's 100% worth listening to. You're going to see One Sorrow. It's freaking amazing. This is a reimagining of Gorecki's Third Symphony. This is the shit. So in other words, when you're looking, I played Gorecki for you earlier. So when you're looking for that weird stuff, this is absolutely it. That's another one that I would suggest very big time to you. And yeah, the rest kind of let your imagination go free. You're not going to go wrong, man. The records are damn good. Really simple as that. If you pick the one up with the rhinoceros, just so you know, that's on Constellation. It's a 12-inch single. This kind of stuff is all, what's it called? The art is all hand done. It's all screen printed stuff. So if you like kind of like those original things, then Colin Stetson or Constellation Records is definitely the thing for you. All right? Let's keep listening. More Colin Stetson. Once this is over, then the show's over. So we got some music left.
There were those who didn't run. There were those who couldn't take it. There were those who stayed in the city. What was it? Where did it go? There were those who laid their bodies down. There were those who took out knives. There were those who kissed the gray skies. There were those who knew only the sound of their own voices. There were those who knew the rules. There were those who freed their bodies. There were those who couldn't take it. There were others on their own. What was it? What was it? There were strangers and con men. There were those who lived in the crawl space. There were people lighting candles. There were people going crazy. There were those who walked the beach. What war is that? What town could this be? There were those who didn't run. There were those who couldn't take it. There were those who stayed in the city. What was it? Where did it go? There were those who laid their bodies down. There were those who took out knives. There were those who kissed the gray skies. There were those who knew only the sound of their own voices. those who freed their bodies. There were those who couldn't take it. There were others on their own. What was it? What was it? There were strangers and con men. There were those who lived in the crawl space. There were people lighting candles. There were people going crazy. There were those who walked the beach. What war was that? What war was that? What town could this be?
All right. Here's your last one. Hope you guys enjoyed your Sunday. Hope this was worth it for you. Thanks for doing it. And there we go. We wound up listening to a whole lot of Colin Stetson. Well, now at least you know what the deal is, right? You'll find it a little different once you start getting into the soundtracks and you go further into his career. He's really become quite an accomplished musician. Like I said, high in demand right now, so among the indie cool kids type of thing and those, indie filmmakers, he's become quite the darling. I'm glad to say that we got a bunch of that stuff in the store. Your code's good for the next little while. So if you're going to use it, and if you're looking to add some more weirdness to your collection, make sure you get 10% off by using the code that you see up on the screen. What the hell is that code? VJ Sunday. Yeah, VJ Sunday. We're done for tonight, man. We went nearly 4 hours. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. No afternoon show tomorrow. Fact is, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do in terms of the next old guy plays records vid. I realize that it's the hot thing right now, and the show, the channel's kind of blowing up because of it. It's all beginning to go viral and all. I like it, but on the other hand, it's like I said, I don't feel like putting it on. So until I find the right records to play for that kind of format, or at least the record that feels right to me, we're going to be doing once a day, and that'll be tomorrow night. I hope some of you are going to join us for day 53 of the virus broadcast. 53 straight days. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I know you don't want it to stop. I appreciate it. I mean, I certainly feel the love. I'm glad. It's amazing to see that there's this many weirdos. Certainly helps not to feel as alone. So that's all cool. But yeah. I'm going to say goodnight for now. And tomorrow at 8 p.m. we'll do it all over again. All right? Thanks so much for tuning in. And day 52 is ours tomorrow. Love you all. Ciao.